Good morning to all dear learners. How are you? I hope you all are safe and fine at your home. And I believe that you all are doing well in terms of gaining knowledge. Physical education itself, education, it's helped you to live a healthier and happier life. As you all know, we are going on with our chapter number 5, Physical Education for CWSN. Which chapter we are going to deal right now? We are going to deal right now Physical Education for CWSN. Right? So here we need to understand what is the meaning of CWSN. Whenever we talk about CWSN, it means we are talking about the children with special needs. Got it? And you know, seeing like this children with special need, basically we need to difficulty, we have a difficulty with them, that these children have difficulty while the learning process. Are you getting what I am saying? So what I am telling you that the learning difficulties with them, the students who are here with the child with different needs. Alright? So today's topic is role of physiotherapist. So before we going to start, I'd just like to tell you what is this physiotherapist role and why we are going to learn this chapter. So dear students, as you all know, the child with the special need, it's an important time to understand their role in the life in this modern era. We also need to understand here that what are the various difficulties this child will have to face. What is exactly the term disability means? The disability term is exactly means a kind of impairment. Now what is this impairment? So disability is that kind of impairment which affects someone's mind and body. It may be generally, kind of sensory or some combination of mental, intellectual, etc. So basically, when we're talking about this, disability, disability is basically a kind of impairment. What it is? It is a kind of impairment, right? So disability basically is an impairment, and which kind of impairment it is? It may be, physical. It may be sensory. It may be cognitive. It may be cognitive. Or maybe a combination of all these things. Right, students? So what we need to understand is what is disability. Disability is a kind of impairment. Okay? Disability is a kind of impairment. This disability may be physical. And when we talk about this physical disability, in this physical there may be a problem with the upper limb, there may be a problem with the lower limb. So physical disability is related to the maybe a manual dexterity, maybe a upper body problem or lower body problem. When we talk about the sensory problem, so as you all know that we all have 5 sense organs, right? How many sense organs do we have? We have 5 sense organs. That is an eye, which gives us the sensation of vision, nose, which gives the sensation of smell, skin, which gives the sensation of touch. In the same way, our body has different kinds of, sense organs. It means basically 5 sense organs, and this sense organ help us to smell, help us to touch, help us to feel. Right? So basically, an individual may have a physical problem. It may have a sensory problem. It means any ongoing problem which is related to the sensory. Third one is cognitive. So whenever we are talking about cognitive disability is also called intellectual disability. What we call it? We call this cognitive disability also intellectual. What is this intellectual problems? First we need to understand. When there is a problem to an individual, to understand the terms, like I want to say, I mean that the problem while receiving information, the problem while understanding the concept, remembering the things, these problems are the cognitive problem. So disability is a kind of impairment which may be physical, sensory, intellectual, etc. or maybe a combination of this. So when this kind of problem generated in an organism, definitely the life of an individual will be totally disturbed. And what I want to tell here is there is a very important concept to be brought together, that is APE. What is the full form of this APE? APE. It is called adaptive physical education. Adaptive physical education. Right? So this adaptive physical education APE is basically something which gives a curriculum, and these curriculum leads how to deal with the child with a special need or Divyang. See, there are a lot of organizations like Special Olympic Bharat, like Paralympics, and these are some Olympics which helps an individual to deal with various kinds of problem. And which kinds of problem? This problem, which definitely deal to understand the concepts. This problem help them, this kind of things such as APE, Adapted Physical Education, has its own curriculum to deal with the children with a special need. They have inclusive classroom, they have more experiential learning, where the involvement of an individual is must. So let us take an example. If an individual having a hearing problem, so defunct is for them. Where an individual having a problem with the vision and all, so Special Olympic Bharat, Paralympic Bharat, special, these are some kind of organization which gives them the opportunity to do well in their life, and they can really, can exhale their way they want. So basically what we are going to learn here, we are going to learn that how physiotherapists play a great role to understand the life of a person, which kind of activities a physiotherapist create, or which kind of things comes in the mind of an individual to lead them into a gratefulness, right? So let's come and understand what is the role of physiotherapist. Physiotherapist, right? So first thing that we need to understand here is physiotherapists are those aligned persons. These are the healthcare professionals which help an individual to understand their basic needs, right? So when we talk about physiotherapist, first we need to understand the meaning of physiology and psychology. What is physiology? Physiology is something which is related to the physical structure of the body, and psychology is something which is related to the mental status or the mental development of the body, right? So basically when I am going to tell about you the physiology or physiotherapist, whenever we talk about this physiology, right? So physiology is basically a pure physical term. Which kind of term? It is basically a pure physical term. Physiology is a science which deals with the functioning of various organ or organ systems, their relationship with other organs and the effect. Physiology is a science of mechanical, physical, bioelectrical, biochemical functioning of human organs, cell, etc. Now let's talk on this anatomy. What is anatomy? It's a branch of biology which studies the human body structure. So basically when we are talking about two terms, that is the physiology and anatomy. Which terms? That is the anatomy and the physiology. So whenever we talk about this anatomy or physiology, basically what I mean here, see, I'll tell you one thing. Let's begin with that. Okay? Physiology, right? Physiology means we are dealing with the functioning of internal organs, right? Functioning of internal organ system. Whenever we are talking about this anatomy, right? It is a branch of biology which deals with the human body structure. Human body structure. Right? This is two terms that we need to understand before we going to start this topic. So let's come, we'll understand what is this what is the role of a physiotherapist and who are physiotherapists. Let's talk about physiotherapist. Physiotherapist is an aligned healthcare profession. So which kind of healthcare profession is it? It is the apex. It is the aligned healthcare profession. It means these are some people who help them to understand the health related problems and they deal accordingly. Right? So which promotes the healthier and well-being in the school or in any institute where they are. So this kind of people, that means the physiotherapists, they helps to create a healthy environment. They helps to give a good health. They take care of the health as well as they helps an individual to bring wellness in their life. Now the point to understand it, what is wellness? So wellness is purely a term which is the state of balance of mind and body. What is wellness? Wellness is a wide term which means it's really a very vast term. It means the balance of mind and body. And when I say there's a balance of mind and body, it means there is no stress, there is no tension, nothing else. So physiotherapists are those persons which provide relax, which provide stress, which deals with the situation somehow that the difficulty of learning will be solved out. Got it? So we know that physiotherapists, these are aligned healthcare professionals which promotes the health and well-being in the school and the institute wherever they are working. So who are physiotherapists? You need to keep in mind that physiotherapists are the aligned healthcare profession which help to promote a hygienic environment, healthy environment and promote well-being to all. Now whenever we talk about well-being, it means the state of, it's a balance of mind and body. It's a balance of temperament, right? Now let's come to the next point, maximum movement. Physiotherapists know when we're dealing with the children who have a special need. It means somehow they may have a physical kind of impairment, they may have a sensory kind of impairment. So basically what they enhance, they're basically working on their functioning of the body, their mobility, their movement, right? So let's say if an individual who is having a problem with the body, right, a problem related with this rotation or moving from one place to another, or some kind of combination like ASD, a group of developmental disorder. So this person or this physiotherapist, these are some people who help these people to walk, to run, even to they start from the scratch. Like they allow them to hold a pencil, they allow them to hold a pen, they allow them to start writing something in their notebook, in their book, etc. So here this physiotherapists play a very important role. Their very first thing to understand here is what they do. They help that individual to start from the scratch or in whatever stage they are. So basic thing, the very common, the very first thing to understand, their role is to understand the growth pattern, the movement. So physiotherapists are those persons who maximize the movement of individual. It means they allow them to at least do something for their betterment, okay, for the functioning of the internal organs. Maximize the functioning of the body. So now when we talk about this physiotherapist, so they help to do the more functioning. It means functioning of the body. As we all know that the body is made up of a lot of systems like this circulatory system, that is next is our lungs, okay, a digestive system, an excretory system, a reproductive system. So each and every system is very important and we need to go for the exercise of all of them. Because see, sports is an integral part of our life and we cannot prosper until or unless it possesses a good health. And when those people who have the challenging life because they are the special child, the special children, and they got some kind of difficulty. So what they need to understand, basically they want to understand the meaning of their life in this world. They also have some notions, they also have some goals, they have some target to achieve in their life. And these people like physiotherapists, special educators, they play their selfless effort to sharp the cards of their self. Right? So they help this kind of children and the children with special need to understand the meaning of their life, to understand how to do or how to deal with the daily life challenges, right? So they help them to do particular kind of exercise and design curriculum exercise of APE so that the functioning of their body will be maintained. maximize. What has happened? They help to maximize the functioning of their body. Got it? So now they deal with the disability. Now how they deal with the disability? So in the earlier time that I have told you earlier that what is disability? Disability, just when I started this lecture I told you that disability is a kind of impairment. What is disability? Disability is a kind of impairment. And these disability may be cognitive, may be developmental, may be intellectual, may be sensory, may be some common or this. Or some mixture or group of developmental disorder. So whenever we talk about this disability, so these are some people who need to help these children with those who having the disability, right? Now we know that disability is a kind of impairment, and when this disability is an impairment, it means they have some problem while walking, while running, while jumping, while thinking. Any problem may be occur. So physiotherapists are those persons who deal with their disability, which help them to overcome this disability and enhance their level up. They can grade up themselves, right? So this autonomous practitioners. Next point, right? Physiotherapists are autonomous practitioners. It means they have this kind of skills, that kind of qualification, which help them to understand the child with special needs. See when this child get a kind of disability. So they started to build their own world. It means they have some difficulty by their thoughts, a mixture of thoughts, because the society behave accordingly. So sometimes they are depressed, sometimes they are stressed, and they also have some notions in their life to go for. So these are the autonomous practitioners who do not, they are those who are not done only to teach them, only to, but they help them to exactly understand the meaning of life. They motivate to change their inner urge. They encourage to participate in various kind of exercise so that their mobility can be increased. So that even they have a lot of various kinds of problem in their body, like it may be related. Let's take an example of sensory, or let's take an example of physical. If someone is physically handicapped, so he or she, you must have heard about the Stephen Hawking, great mathematician who gave the theory of black hole. So has they done a great job exactly? So why you can't do? So they the physiotherapists will definitely help them to start walking, start running, movements basically. So this physiotherapist people, they have the capability, that caliber to understand what they can do for them, and they definitely help them to take out from the various kind of situations in their life. They generally take assessment also. So whenever they taught something while performing, while their own involvement in different activity, they allow them to perform something, and they do the assessment part there. Now what is this assessment part? Assessment part, it means whatever the teacher has taught, like the physiotherapist helping them to overcome various kind of problem. It means basically he or she is working for this how to the potential will be maximized. So they want to see the potential, they want to see what exactly these kind of students are doing, how their involvement is there, how they can enhance their potential, how they can understand what they are teaching. Because sometimes see when people is blind, when people have some sensory problem, when people is deaf, and let's say even we can allow them to walk or run something, but let's say people have a difficulty while walking, running, or have some intellectual problem. So whatever you say, you not understand. So on that time we need a special educator, we need this kind of physiotherapist who help them to understand. Because see, in this chapter when we told it, they are special children with a special need. It means their needs are special. They should be treated as a special person, and they need to work for them accordingly. So various educational activities are also designed for them so that this process can be experiential learning process. So this physical education, APE, and this kind of organization is definitely doing a great job in terms of educating them, training them, and making them able to deal with various life-related problems. So various educational activities has been designed for them, allow them to play, allow them to do creation, and so many things. Right? Next thing is the interpretation. So they have, after such a way that their student can be motivated in such a positive way that he or she can do something well in his or her life. Basically, it means interpretation when I am talking. So this term which helps an individual to understand that how to deal with the disability. Next is investigation. They go for the investigation also. No? Right? So this investigation part will definitely help these students, because see, when this kind of health aligned care professions, this physiotherapist person, when they do investigation, they take out something about their life and they help them to deal with various kind of disability. So what we can do, basically this physiotherapist help them to understand, to they understand them in such a way that they be their friend, and they can understand their potential. They can have some investigation about the relationship. They have some investigation about the way they think. And why this investigation part helps them? This investigation part helps them to know this child more, and definitely when the teacher-pupil relationship is good, definitely we can understand that, definitely we can know that what is their potential. And when we know the children well, we are good friends, and because according to what I think, that children are friend. I know we have some line. A teacher should know and the student should know where they need to draw a line. And if the children is crossing that line, it will be bad thing. So we should know where our line is, so we can act accordingly. There is no problem, I think. Next thing is holistic physical rehabilitation, or a holistic kind of development. What is this holistic development? Holistic development is a development which is all around development. Physical, mental, social, emotional, organic. Each and every parameter, when you see that child is completely okay. So this physiotherapist person, they have a role in their life to motivate the children, to encourage them, to allow them to participate in various activities so that their sarcastic vikas can be done. Which kind of development? All around development, holistic development. So it's based on the holistic approach. Next thing is riser and riser. Whenever we talk about riser and riser, it is in two terms. No, I have to tell you riser, rest, ice, compression, elevation, rehabilitation. See, when let's say somebody having a problem with the joint, or somebody have a issue with this, the problem that is this, bone or some injury, something kind of, right? So ice, and then it needs to provide ice to the injury. Okay. So first is rest. First part is rest. One should go for the rest. Second is ice. C for compression. It means compression, elevation, it means some motion to the body. Then rehabilitation, it means started to do the current kind of exercise so that their life can be a new normal. Right? Not the COVID new normal, but definitely the new normal. So basically, when you talk about this point, the physiotherapist is doing a great job in terms of understanding the children, in terms to know that what exactly the potential of the life. They not only help them to allow them to walk, sit and all, but they definitely help them to understand the meaning of the life, how to deal with it, and definitely successfully they understand and allow them to understand their life, their own. Right, students? So basically this person, this physiotherapist, if I say I want you guys to mark my words, I am saying something very big. And the thing is, this physiotherapist is an aligned healthcare profession which promotes the health and well-being for all. They aims to maximize the movement and the functioning of various individuals, those who are affected with disability, disorder, injury, illness, developmental delay, or any kind of disability. What is any kind of disability? Physiotherapists are autonomous practitioners responsible for the assessment, interpretations of investigations going expert. They are ready for the whole, holistic development and the overall growth and development part for therapy and provided opportunity for therapists to discuss and give appropriate advice to handle and support the growing children able to access the national curriculum. Many pediatrics physiotherapists are based on solely work within the school. So within the school, there are many people like the physiotherapists who help the student, who help the children to understand the basic need. They basically work on a motor development. Now we need to understand what is this motor development. Okay, what is the meaning of this motor development? Motor development is basically the growth, that is a smooth and coordinated development of bones and muscles. In case where there has been obvious physical disability, the children will have received support well before starting the school. Although physiotherapists are happy to give advice to children, teacher referral must be to a medical practitioner, expert doctor. It is advisable to discuss for the concerning future of that particular child or parent. The fundamental role of physiotherapist is work closely with the partnership with the people and with the disability and the family career and address the need and improve outcomes. So when this physiotherapist people start working, they set some norms, they set some LOs, learning outcomes. Many types of physical disability require initially rehabilitation as well as long-term therapy support the cells. When we talk about this physiotherapist, so this physiotherapist helps the student with special need achieve full physical function. He or she definitely usually well versed with the relation discipline such as anatomy, physiology, biomechanics, kinesiology, neuroscience, etc. See, because this, people have a various kind of problem in their life, and they definitely want to enhance something. They definitely want to do well in their life, and they want to enhance the way they think. So basically, when we talk about treatment, so physiotherapist is definitely here to aid us, to help us. Teachers in the school realize the obsession that see that there is no physiotherapist in the school, and if the school having this kind of children, it means the children who are having CWSN, child with special need. So the physiotherapist will be here and will be helping out in each and every point of their life. They giving them advice to handle, support, and these growing challenges. See, when the children are growing, when the children have some learning difficulty or disability, they have a lot of energy. And this physiotherapist people know how to channelize their energy in such a positive way that the learning outcomes can be achieved and their life can be matured as well. Right? So basically when we talk about the way they teach is first is experiential learning. What is this experiential learning we need to understand? Experiential learning is that learning which helps the individual to not only to understand their own way, not only to understand their potential, but yes, this is that kind of education which helps the teacher, which helps the parent, which helps this individual student also to understand what she or he is doing. Basically, let me tell you one very simple thing. Experiential learning means involvement of the students, practical skills, where they perform things together with their own creative ideas, and when they do the things with them, they'll definitely understand. As a great person said, that allow me. Let's say this is the talk of a disabled person, and the disabled person says that, yeah, please allow me, I'll do something. If you allow me, I'll learn something. Either I forgot or it may be my part of encouragement as a participation. But sometimes these people say is that if I do the thing by myself, by my own creation, I'll never forget this. That is the same as experiential learning says. The more the student involved in the activity, the practical work, the more they can learn. So let allow the children who are having the wings to move in the akash and the dream of flying. Let them to explore the world. Inclusive education, so basically what is is that kind of education which deals with the, a kind of holistic approach towards the involvement of the student, and providing such a positive environment to the students where they can not only learn, but they can also understand the rules of the life. They can also understand what is the worth of life, right? So inclusive education basically a positive kind of education when there is nothing is about than this, education of one's personality. So it is about this, gender, caste, religion, etc. Involvement. Basically, when we involve the student, they learn better. So involvement is must. Physiomotor skills or physiomotor learning, it means performing various kinds of exercise. They definitely understand well. Multidisciplinary approach, it means while doing any kind of activity, the teacher has a multidisciplinary outcomes or learning outcomes. It means in a single activity they want to have a various kind of learning outcomes. It means when the student performs single thing, even that time he or she will get the various kind of learning outcomes. It means whatever, see, when this children is already a special child and we want the maximum output from them, it means we need them to approach them the talent, we want them to nurture the talent, we want that they definitely understand something, right? So there's a different curriculum for them. Everything is already decided according to their disability, so that the holistic approach, so that the approach towards their learning can be nurtured. So they have a session with the expert doctors and so many things. Now the term from here is to concern with the motor development. So basically, yes, this motor development is a major concern when we talk about, right? So what is this motor development? Motor development. When we talk about this, motor development is a smooth and coordinated development of bones and muscles. Bones and muscles. So the smooth and coordinated development of bones and muscles is called motor development. So that is what the physiotherapists want, that the smooth and coordinated development of bones and muscles should be taken place. Second thing, it is of two types. First is gross motor development. Second is fine motor development. When we talk about this gross motor development, it means gross development is related to the development of large muscles and bones, and fine motor development is related to the development of small muscles and bones. So basically, physiotherapist people, they have their vision that the learning, that the movement, that the mobility of child is the basic concern for them, so that they can understand the child and they can give wings to the dream of that particular kiddo, that particular kid, right? So when we learn about this physiotherapist, this definitely has a special needs to achieve the physical function. Okay, physiotherapy help them to do this physical function. To start by assessing the student, their physical capabilities, and then helping them to gain a fundamental motor skills such as reaching, grasping, tying, handwriting, eating, drinking, etc. To design a program, an activity that involves promotion of balance, strength, coordination. So generally design such a kind of activity which is mixture of speed, balance, strength, endurance, coordinative ability, that is the coordination. To introduce toy, in the place of equipment they introduce toy, and this toy through which a great range of physical function can be mastered. To monitor the progress of the student, and they make adjustment in the program, they modify the rules so that they can also participate in that. To teach the parents, guardians and teachers sometime, if it is necessary, how to approach the problem which is faced by the student during the training. Basically, expert, including the health professionals, but they are, they need a medical consultation, and definitely the supervision is very, very important here. Alright, so this is all about this thing that is the physiotherapist, the role of physiotherapist. So I hope you all understood that the physiotherapist play a very important role in the life of a person, and if you understand the role of physiotherapist, definitely it's a great profession nowadays in terms of saving a life, or so many things are there in physiotherapist. So with this, take care, bye bye. I'll meet soon with a new lecture. Bye bye, take care, everyone. With this, lots of care, lots of love, and blessings to everyone. Bye bye, all. Take care. Have a great day ever.